morning, everyone. How are you doing today there? I hope you were all great. A lot of lessons coming, isn't there? Interesting, huh? But, you know, the importance of all of this is one's spirituality and their spiritual growth and being strong in your knowingness of what you know is true and sort of thing. And you'll always be tested on that till you really know what you know, and then they'll leave you alone. I will say this. There's currently a lot of purists out there that think and that's what's happening. I've warned you guys about this before, and you're just seeing this now more and more. And it develops into narcissism. It develops into strong egos. And then people start feeling bad around them that these people are doing so great and they're so above everyone in their health and so smart, and everyone's just, feeling bad that they're not a purist, and if they eat a little wrong, it's bad, bad, bad. And I want you guys that work with me not to feel that way. That's people like Durian Ryder and these people like that. These people heading for a big crash, and you'll see it, you'll watch it, and it happens every single time. Happened to David Wolf, and it'll happen to a lot of people. And they got going way out of balance because these guys are young, they don't have a clue, they're not grounded in experience, and this is what happens. So I don't want you guys to feel that way, because you're a beautiful spiritual beings having a human experience, and the human experience on this planet's rough. You're trained for generations early on in your consciousness in terms of the eating. You're lied to constantly. It's a struggle. And those of you that are healers have to be balanced, because you have to work with every level out there. And for someone to assume that everyone is going to suddenly be a purist is ridiculous. A lot of other choice words could be shown that. So I appreciate you guys for all the good comments I'm getting from you and stuff, but realize that this is what happens when you get out of balance, and going real raw like that can get you out of balance. And my good friend Dan knows that well too. Me and him talked a lot about that at the class. And now Dan, and that's the beauty of Dan, he's growing so much spiritually, and now, you get to see where you get trapped, and you fix these, and you go on, and that's what these other people have to do. Don't you feel bad 1 minute that you can't eat 30 bananas or 60 bananas or anything ridiculous like that. This is all ridiculous thoughts, in my opinion. If you're hungry, eat up. And I've been when I was total fruitarian, I could polish off a bushel basket of oranges in a couple of settings. And yeah, there was probably 12 oranges at a setting. I had 5 settings a day, so that's about 60 oranges a day. But and I felt good at that. That was perfect, So everybody's unique in whatever they can do and whatever they can handle. I was young, now I'm a little older, my body can't do that. Even with the raw, I'm quite energetic, quite satisfied. I don't need food. Matter of fact, I eat food to bring me down a little bit because the energy is intense. And so there's a lot of different levels to this. And I think you're seeing these purists, and I've warned about them again, they're all over the place, and yet you'll find where they're not so pure. So it's just a kind of a mindset that's on this planet. They don't understand the spirituality of things, consciousness, atoms, the fact that you can't kill anything. Suffering, we've talked about that before, big deal, we all have it. You see me, I can't handle suffering. And that's a whole different story. But to sit there and think you'll never put a little bit of this in your mouth or a little bit of that in your mouth, and down you on this and down you on that, that's karma attitude. And it'll whip back and get whoever's got these attitudes, and it'll humble you. Let me tell you, it's good to stay humble. If not, you're going to get humbled. I'm just telling you, this spirituality is a real growth. It's a real fact. If you claim you want to have God consciousness, then there's just a certain road you have to walk down, and balance would be a good one. That's all I can tell you. And it's not about what you eat. If you think that if you're not doing raw, you're not going to experience God, you have a big thought coming there. And that's about what's being insinuated in places, is that if you're not a purist and all of this, like coming down on us for cacao, and David Wolf sold cacao, and you know what I'm saying? It's just everybody's coming down on everybody, and that's the negative forces. And we're not going to allow that on our channel. The people that want to Google bull crap stuff or put it on there, we're going to take you right off, because we're not going to allow the negative forces to come in on us and control us and affect you guys. I'll protect you as much as I can, and we protect ourselves. And that's what's important here, is that you gain strength and balance. Balance is everything, because when you, and we're in the human condition, you have a big balancing factor all the way to high raw, high fruitarianism. On this channel, I only talk about detoxification and the road to Wellville. How you choose to live your life outside of that is what you do. Of course, you might be detoxing for a year or two, and you're going to set in some pretty good habits. And when you break this, you'll probably be a good high raw fooder like we are. Most of us here are pretty good high raw fooders. Yes, we do cook foods once in a while, steamed vegetables and stuff like that, and I really don't care what people think. I'm not a 100% raw foodist. I would love to be a 100% raw fruitarian with Yaz over there in Thailand. But, you know, there's no judgment. And if I can keep you guys away from judging, looking on your health, that's where it's at. So I just want you guys to relax and don't feel bad if you can't be a purist, because I don't teach purity anymore. It's too out of balancing, and you're seeing it already on our site. And then people get vulgar, they get mean, you know, and every other word is a cuss word. These people have no business on our site. Our site is one of love, dignity, humility, balance, all of the refinements that we need as spiritual beings, giving love to each of our brothers and sisters, if you will. And I even hate to use that word, because they're not true brothers and sisters. They're all a part of us. At one level, we're all coming from the same source. We are of the same source. We just have different states of consciousness, different experiences on our journeys. And we have to allow for that. Someone can sit there and chug down a piece of ribs and barbecued or French fries or whatever. I'm not going to judge them. I don't care. I know where it's going to take them. Okay. You know, they choose that. But to get up there and be real pure and to make everybody feel bad that they're not a purist, don't you dare feel bad. I think you all have done fantastic. You guys are kicking butt. I'm real proud of you guys. You've done well, but all this is maturing some of you that want to be healers. And I think it's real important to take consideration all that's being said here. Once in a while, you'll get a wacko like this one lady or something that said, we almost killed her or something. I don't know what she was saying. You know, she had to go to a medical doctor. Well, there's a lot of frail people like that out there. Then you're going to run into them that just can't do the programs. They might want to. They might have good intentions, but they're too febrile in their emotions and too unstable. So they freak out with a healing crisis and go directly to the medical doctors. You know, it's like, okay, whatever, you just said that was your lack of your understanding of your journey. So you see some of this once in a while where people whacked out, and you know, people do plant different things on sites and try to arouse controversy and everything else, and it's just the negative forces stirring up. But it makes for good experiences for all of you guys in terms of being strong in what you know to be true, and strong in that you don't let people bring you down like that. You just can't let that. You got to give love to everyone. You might not like certain people, which is okay. Nobody says you have to like everything, but you have to have the divine love. And that divine love is for everything, because you see God literally in everything. And that's what you need to work for. And God has to be loving to itself, because that's all that exists. So it's important that you love yourself and respect yourself, because you're no different than anyone else, and no one else is any better than you. It's just not happening. This is the false sense of the id, the ego, and these people ride on these ego waves, and there's just nothing you can do about it. Yes, we'd like to remove all the toxins out. Somebody sent me a list of all the toxins in some of the pharmacy products here. We never know. Look at Jason Winter's products. Jason Winter's very well-known naturalist, but look, you know, he has a lot of crap in these products. Well, you don't know that until you order the product in here, and then you're going to see some of that. You'll never get away, I don't think, into a high, pure form of even natural health products unless someone like us make them. You know, we are coming out with as many products as we can, and they're not going to have anything in them that would even be considered other than botanicals or such. Once in a while, there's something you have to put some ascorbic acid or something in just to maintain its integrity. Some of that we have to work out. You know, I look at these breads, and a lot of them use raisin juice and stuff like this as a good preservative, and this is what we have to learn more of, how you do those things, you know. So I just want to talk to you about being strong in your commitments. I'm real proud of all of you. You've done real well. You guys are detoxing. Some of you are finally out of pain after years and years and years, and that makes my heart really glow, because suffering is not where it is, and anybody who's suffering, we're going to help them. Death, just excuse me while I go to my next body, or excuse me while I go home, or excuse me whatever. But you know, this is just journey after journey after journey. This is just a big a place for experiences, not real. They're like soap operas. One scene, and then that's gone in another scene, and that's gone in another scene, and that's gone in another scene. It's you that's the importance. It's the viewer of the scene. So you guys have done marvelous, and I'm real proud of you. And don't beat yourself up. Sometimes you have to cheat a little to keep your sanity. I've seen this for years, especially with the older folk that used to these high-cooked diets and stuff. Not easy to go. And you don't expect everyone to become a purist right off. That's ridiculous. So you're just seeing that these purists and how that ego, when they cuss every other thing. This one website, 30 Bananas, they're always cussing on it and ratting and raving and stuff. And it's like, no, you guys have your own website. That's kind of a place there that nobody really cares to go. That's a big whirling mass of negativity. That's not what we want. We want a whirling mass of love and respect and humility. Because it isn't what you do that's important. It isn't what you eat that's important. It's who you are that's important. And once you understand that, then how you conduct yourself. This is Green Helper 7. This is Dr. Morris. Oh, you're looking well today. Thank you very much, Green Helper. Thank you so much. Yes, I could get myself in shape even more and more and more, get the hair back, my colors coming. Question. This past week was a very rough detox week for me. During that time, I developed an aversion to kale and cauliflower. Yeah, I can understand why. Cruciferouses are tough. And these foods are tough. Could there be a connection between those sulfuric foods and my body's trying to pull sulfur out? Absolutely. I've seen people that have a lot of sulfur in them. They can't do the cruciferouses because they have so much gas and swelling, and no, not good. I'm different than other people, so don't get mad, but that's just what I teach. But I don't find anything super healthy about the cruciferouses in the first place. You know, we have this fantasy about sulfur being some magic gas, and it's like, yeah, magic, all right, hurts when it's going out. No, there's nothing magic about sulfur compounds, in my opinion. That's a medical thinker again. I don't really get into the sulfurs for what we see, and we've seen it in the last couple of days. A lot of the sulfurs with all the finger stuff and all the itching. These guys have tremendous amount of fungal problems and stuff with the sulfurs. So, yeah, you are going to find just what we're teaching here being factual. You're going to find it because all we try to give you is factual stuff. So an example is the more fruit you do, the less vegetables you want to do.